Hello, it's Kerry here. I am sitting in my lounge on a Monday morning and it's bloody hot outside. It's baking hot. It's the 30th of July and it's still only about 8 o'clock in the morning and it's going to be a scorcher today, I think. So I tried yesterday to make this video and I couldn't seem to find the words, and then I kept getting interrupted and I just thought, okay, it's not the right time to be recording this, so I thought I'd give it another go now. So I just wanted to make a video just to give a bit of information about the Descend into She Dark Goddess exploration that I am going to be offering starting this month. So it starts in 3 weeks' time, and what it will include is a manual that I'm going to write, a deep exploration of each of the goddesses. It will include as much information as I can find on these goddesses, and it will include spiritual guidance from them. There'll be a meditation to download, possibly other things that I'm guided to do. I don't really know yet because I haven't started it. But there will also be an in-person online. What I mean is, it's not going to be a recorded ceremony, so you're going to need to actually be there in person on the recording to participate in the ceremony. So I've decided to do that to keep the ceremony happening in real time for a start, and so that we're all actually gathering at the same time to raise the vibration, and through that the sacredness of the ceremony. So there will be an online ceremony in honour of each goddess where we will talk about the lessons that each goddess brings and how we might integrate the energy of each goddess into our spiritual practices and how they might support us. So the goddesses that I've decided to look at, and it's been difficult to decide because there's so many dark goddesses, so I'm not going to be looking at Medusa because I'm working much deeper with Medusa and creating a priestess initiation course in honour of Medusa called Medusa Rising. Within that initiation there will be explorations of the dark goddesses. So if you're planning on doing my Medusa course, this might not be for you, because a lot of the information that will be in this dark goddess exploration is also going to be in the Medusa course, but that is entirely up to you. Obviously I don't want to put people off joining me for this. The ceremonies towards each of the dark goddesses will not be in the Medusa initiation, so it is worth you joining. You will get more in line with each goddess than there will be in the Medusa course. I'm hoping that makes sense. So the goddesses that I'm going to be looking at are Lilith, followed by Hecate, I'm trying to remember now, followed by Nephthys, the Morrigan, Ereshkigal, and I think I've got them in the wrong order, so it's going to be Ereshkigal first, then the Morrigan, and then we're going to end with Baba Yaga. So they're the goddesses that I'm going to be looking at during this 6 months into the Descend into She Dark Goddess exploration. You don't have to come to all of them, but there is a 30% discount if you book for all of them. That's all on my website, but you can book it individually each month for each one if you want to come. So in my Medusa initiation, Baba Yaga is not going to be part of that Medusa dark goddess sisterhood. And I'm not sure whether Ereshkigal will be there either. But the others will be featuring within the Medusa initiation. So that's all the information on that. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about why you might want to do this work in the first place, and what are the benefits for us of connecting with these energies, with these darker goddesses. So for me, the importance of it is, I feel it is really important. If you're doing work with Goddess, it's very, very important that you are not just focused on the more lighter side of the goddess, and that you're working with these goddesses who hold the more challenging, fiercer, darker, more frightening, and what's the word? Yeah, that energy is very, I want to say intimidating, but they're only intimidating if you are actually afraid of those parts of yourself that they represent. If you're afraid of looking at those parts of yourself, and integrating their energy into your energy, into your shadow. But I feel it's very important to look at these goddesses, to look at the truth of their stories, to look at the origins of their stories. So taking Medusa as an example, her origins, the origins of her story, are very different to what she became when the classical poets began writing about her. So her original story has been twisted and distorted to fit into the narrative that they wanted to put forward in terms of powerful feminine energies. And that is fairly across the board with a lot of the dark goddesses. So that's one of the main reasons that I want to look at their stories, is to dig deep and discover the truth, to discover their truth. And then in doing that, their energies can help us to look at the truth of us and the truth of who we really are, and to delve into the aspects of ourselves that are not quite as easy to acknowledge, not quite as easy to explore, and to give us the courage and the strength and the support in doing that, and supporting each other as well as we do this work. And then it's about releasing the shame that we might have been holding, that we may have been conditioned into feeling, or that's been placed on us by other people, and the shame in having these emotions, in having these parts of ourselves that are not palatable for a lot of people to acknowledge and consider and to delve into. So that's another big reason why we might want to explore these dark goddesses. So they will bring up themes around self-destruction, around our own shadows, around anger and rage, refusing to conform, refusing to be silenced, refusing to be submissive, and ultimately they can help us to know ourselves 100%, and not just the parts of ourselves that we're okay with acknowledging and understanding about ourselves. It's about really knowing who we are and really knowing what our triggers are. It's all about deep exploration, self-exploration. So as we explore the Dark Goddess, we're exploring those parts of ourselves as well, and bringing them up to be acknowledged and to be accepted and heard and loved, because we deserve to be loved in all of our aspects, the light side of us and the dark side of us. So it's about self-love as well. Just trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to say. Yeah, there's a couple of goddesses in there where we're going to be exploring death as well, with Nephthys in particular, and the holy sacredness of death. So, it's a fairly taboo subject, although I think it is becoming more accepted to actually speak about death and our own death and death of our loved ones, and acceptance that death is a part of life. So this is going to be a theme that might come up a couple of times. Death and destruction, and how necessary it is to let things come to a natural end. We'll be looking at grief, and we'll be looking at rage. We'll be looking at themes of feminine sovereignty, feminine power, feminine wisdom. So it's going to include a lot of different themes, lots of stories about the goddesses, lots of meditations, guidance that comes through from them. And it's going to be amazing. So if you're wanting to join me in this exploration of the dark goddesses and in this exploration of the darker, shadowy side of yourself, then there's a link to my website that I will put in the talky bit, in the text bit of this post. So just follow the link and come and join me, because we start in 3 weeks' time on the exploration of Lilith. So I hope to see you there. Take care. Bye.